2024.
By the time you're watching this, it will be 2024. So we wanted to just take this time to recap our year, talk about goals that we have coming up, and then maybe how to set New Year's resolutions, because I think a lot of people struggle with setting New Year's resolutions. So I have some tips and advice. I think this is always really fun to go and look back on. Maybe we'll find the clip, the excerpt from our 2017 New Year's resolutions, where I said in 2018 we wanted to quit our job. For me, I want to pursue opportunities outside of a 9-to-5 job this year.
Oh!
So yeah, hopefully, there's some things will happen that will allow us to leave the corporate world, but we'll see. And then looking back, Aubrie actually has a letter. She writes letters to herself every Christmas or after Christmas. And in 2019 going into 2020, she wrote in there the growth of Fat and Weird.
Yeah, I wanted to get pregnant. I mean, that was like my wish for 2 years.
There's also a lot of travel that was in there, but that didn't happen because if everyone remembers what happens in 2020, it's just really fun to look back on those things, because I think a lot of times it helps me to be grateful, just thankful, because there's so many like small things that you wished for that you get eventually, and then you forget that you even wanted them so badly. And so I think it like really helps with perspective.
Yeah, we rarely reflect and especially congratulate ourselves, pat ourselves on the back for all this work that we've done. It's usually just like that stress and worry about what's coming and what you're gonna do next. So let's just look back.
Yeah, starting in January of this year, we went to Disney.
Is that the first time you went to Disney? Yeah, it was
the first time that we went to Disney.
It was honestly the best time to go. The first day, we got to literally do every ride ever in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that was like January, February. We went at the very end of January into February. So, yeah, she got to meet all the characters.
We didn't realize that she would love the characters so much.
Yeah.
She was obsessed.
March. Is that when we went on the cruise?
I'd have to look. Hold on. That's why I have my phone. It's hard to remember month to month.
Yeah. At the end of February to the beginning of March, we did the Memories Over Macros cruise. So there was like, 10 different groups that went with us. It was a lot of fun. We
finally were able to do it because all the years previous, like nobody could cruise 2 years, so I had 2 years of winners from all my 6-week challenges that we got to take finally. And then my parents went to especially watch Letty, but then that was their first cruise too. So all of that was just so memorable. They loved it. March was Letty's 2nd birthday, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna throw a big party for her. Put it together in like 2 weeks. Invited all of her little besties and cousins, and we did it down in the Fat and Weird Cookie storefront, and it was the theme Too Sweet. It was so cute, so much fun. And now I'm looking forward to her next birthday party, even though I kind of swore to myself, I was like, this was chaotic. I'm probably not gonna do this next year. We're gonna go somewhere else. So who knows what this year will look like.
April, my birthday, we took Letty to see Disney on Ice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So with Adam,
we should do that again.
Cantrell's family. So we went and saw Disney on Ice. In May, I'm not really sure. I think it was just a lot of time at Shipwreck, which is like the little water park here. We went to Shipwreck a couple of times. In April, we also went and met with Nick Bear and got to like
go to watercolor.
Yeah, we spent water. That was April.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was super fun.
Yeah.
Took Letty to the beach. It was like a staycation almost because watercolor is pretty close to us. I was actually thinking about that the other day. We should do that again.
Sure.
We should do that again.
In May, for Fat and Weird Cookie, we went and did the acceptance testing on the bagging machine that we eventually got. But May is when we went and did the testing on that.
When did we get SQF certified? I feel like it was in that time frame, maybe a little
It was
earlier.
in March.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big month.
Yeah.
I remember we worked so hard and then just kind of happened, and I feel like we celebrated a little bit. That's one thing we need to do better this year is like things that we waited for, we worked for, we just need to celebrate them a little bit more. Even if it's like 10 minutes of celebration, just soak it in.
Yeah, it's hard for me. It's on to the next thing on the list.
Yeah. Anxiety.
In May, we also transitioned Fat and Weird to black bags.
Oh, we went black.
Yep.
The website went black then too.
Yep, everything went black. Yep.
Do you guys like it black or white for the website? We're definitely keeping our black packaging, but we debated going back to like a cleaner look of a white website, so let us know.
Equipment actually got delivered in June.
The equipment got delivered in June?
Yeah.
That feels like centuries ago.
Yeah.
And then you finally got it working in November?
October.
No, October. Yeah, I remember you guys having that goal of like, July, we're producing Myers.
Yeah.
And then we didn't.
Well, they didn't order it until later.
Right, but
Yeah.
that timelines just get shifted so much. That's wild. July was Letty's like first 4th of July. I feel like she could probably recognize and remember. She loved the fireworks and the parade and getting her face painted. That was really memorable.
Oh, and July is when Mandy, our worker, went on the Beat Shazam show as well.
That feels like it was yesterday. That was July?
Yeah, it was July.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's when Nick Cannon tried our cookies.
That brown sugar bourbon cookie is literally to die for. Yeah, I put it back on the schedule for this coming year, for 2024.
In August, we went to Montana.
Yeah, we did. I think my goal was always to go for more than 1 week, and I finally made it 2 weeks to Montana. So this year I'm trying to talk Brad into letting me go like 3 weeks, and then he comes like 1 week.
We actually went to Montana at the beginning of August, and then we went on the cruise at the end of August.
Oh
for
yeah,
your birthday.
I think I remember that. It was like we went to Montana, then we had a week break to come back here and like unpack and pack again.
I think it was literally
And
like
then
5
another cruise.
days.
Sort
I
of,
think we came back on a Sunday and then left on like Friday.
yeah, I don't think I ever thought I would be like going to Disney and cruising and like kind of all in the same year.
You're
I just
welcome.
never thought. Thanks.
You're living the dream.
I am living the dream. I love my life.
Obviously, the cruise was for your birthday, so we did the birthday
else?
cruise. September, I started CrossFit with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you miss it?
Yeah, sometimes.
I miss having you there. I haven't actually been going frequently. I go like once or twice a week, and then I've kind of got back into bodybuilding routine.
Letty got the motorcycle.
She got the motorcycle.
That was fun. She liked that. But yeah, that was September.
She
really.
looks so young. That's what's sad about looking back. I feel like I don't like to look back because she just looks like a little baby with chubby cheeks, and she's not like that anymore. Oh, we gave up the pacifier this year too. That was in, did we have it in Montana?
No.
I think we gave it up like July-ish zone.
Yeah.
And then when we went to Montana, she didn't have it. And I would say like it took about 3 months for her teeth to get back to normal. So if you're ever worried about that with your young kids, they go back to normal. So don't worry.
October was a very busy month. We started on the Myers order for Fat and Weird. We went to Disney again with your sister.
Oh yeah, so we took my nieces. Yeah, I have a horrible memory. I literally have to look at my phone to like recall what happened. But that was awesome just because I know that when we've been to Disney in the past, I've always wanted to like take my family, and you know, we got to take my parents a couple of years ago, and then to finally have like my nieces, at least some of my nieces, be able to go, and my sister and her husband. I think they really just enjoyed themselves, and I feel like we showed them a good time, so
Yeah.
that was fun.
And Letty got her first pumpkin patch experience.
Oh yeah, first
We-
pumpkin patch.
And then I went to Chicago. I went to Chicago and Salt Lake, actually.
Yeah, you were gone for like a
week.
solid week, which is actually the longest that you've been gone in forever. Letty's Halloween costume, she wanted to be a pink spider this year, so I had to make her Halloween costume, and then thereafter she just kept asking to go trick-or-treating, like she wished that it was just the thing that you did all the time.
Yeah, she
Which
loves
is
trick or
awesome.
treating. November, we were working on the Myers order. That's pretty much when we did the bulk of the Myers order. And then we also went to Palm Springs.
Went to Palm Springs for Hydro Jug and their Black Friday release. That was so fun to just go, me and you, without
Very
a
relaxing.
babe.
Yeah.
And then my mom was also here during that time, so she got to help me like decorate for Christmas. And
Yeah, and then we hosted Thanksgiving.
yep, hosted Thanksgiving. That was a circus.
Yeah. And then roll
Just ended
into
Christmas.
December, and we went to New York.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a great trip.
All the food, all the fun. Planning my next year's trip back to New York.
I didn't realize how bougie it was that like then we had a bunch of friends who were on the more
Bougier side.
bougier side things who all went to New York, and I was like, oh, I guess this is a very bougie thing to do, to go to New York during Christmas.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, it's a once in a lifetime experience. I think that was one of my favorite trips ever,
Wow.
which says a lot.
I also got
so cool.
my cold plunge in November.
Yep, we've been cold plunging. And
Yeah, so I've been cold plunging for like 6 weeks now, pretty much.
at least,
like,
yeah. These last couple of months have like flown by. I know you were talking about the Myers order, but like I feel like we didn't see each other at all during that time. Like, of course I saw you
I
like
was
at
super
home
busy.
at night, but
that was a very chaotic time for me, you know? I mean, I guess literally from like the moment we started on the Myers order until like Christmas was just chaos for me. Just trying to do it. I mean, Fat and Weird's growth has been a lot during that time period. And so we might as, I guess, well, roll into New Year's resolutions since we're talking about it. But, you know, with Fat and Weird, you know, transparently, I guess we'll talk about money, which this is where I think money is a hard thing, is because people can be like, I made $1 million in revenue for my business, but you could literally have profited no money at all from that because, you know, you spent money to make that money. So, you know, you gotta take people's top line revenue numbers with a grain of salt because there's a lot that goes into it. But my goal is to break 10 million with Fat and Weird this year, which would be more than double our best year ever. So it would be interesting, but I think that we have the ability to do that very easily.
and
truthfully.
just get back into the green.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you spent
We spent a
in
whole
the
year
red.
in the red
Yeah.
or like break even
Over a year,
pretty
yeah.
much, like as we pivoted towards wholesale, just because there's a lot that goes into that from an operation side of things. So
I think you can do it.
yeah, I hope so.
My focus, actually, I feel like it's already starting to transpire because I already launched my new app and the signups for my new challenge. So by the time you're watching this, the signups will still be open. So if you're interested, you know, you can find more information at the link in the description. But I've already had more signups than I've ever had in a 6-week challenge. So I feel like, man, we're really starting off with a bang, but then it gives me anxiety because I'm like, well, what if this is just as good as it gets? So like, it's just, you know, like what if it just goes downhill from here? I took a big risk in doing this and changing to the app and making these changes, but I was like, I gotta do something. Like I just felt this drive to do something new and fresh, and look what happened, you know? So I guess that's my advice to you. Like, if you know something won't go totally poorly, but you think it'll go fine or even like great, then just, and you feel driven to do that and it makes sense, just do it.
Yeah, my focus this year too is just gonna be like only on Fat and Weird. You know, I think a lot of people know that I have like some real estate stuff. We had Motive, we, you know, have Fat and Weird, Aubrie has her coaching, and I have actually am almost through the process of selling the land that we had bought. We're cashing out. A developer wants to come in and buy it. We're getting the development order, so we're making a good amount of money on that. But I'm just going to solely be focused on like, I guess, social media / Fat and Weird. You know, because everything that you do on social media brings light to Fat and Weird in one way or another.
Do you have any goals for social media specifically?
Well, yeah, I want to get 100,000 on YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
So
I've been saying that for a while.
But yeah, since when bringing that up, when people fail at New Year's resolutions, it's usually because they don't give themselves actual tangible goals that they're trying to reach and like lay out how you're going to get there. So for example, it's like you can say you're getting to 100,000 on YouTube, but like how are you going to do that? Okay, I'm going to post 2 videos a week, and you know, for the first 3 months, I'm gonna post all kinds of different content. Then I'm gonna see what does the best as far as subscriber growth goes, and then I'm gonna double down on that for the next 9 months to get to 100,000. So like that's kind of like what I mean by that. So if you said like, I want to lose weight, well, how much weight and how are you going to go about doing that?
I think most people know that like acronym that's SMART goals. What does S stand for?
Let's not be that smart.
Measurable. Something. I'll look it up. I'm gonna Google it.
The other advice I want to give you is I don't go to the gym at all, and I'm going 6 days a week because it's not very realistic to do that large of a change in your like daily life. Like if you go 4 times a week, you're like, I'm gonna go 5 times a week, then that's fine. Also, don't make your New Year's resolutions to the point where like if you only go 4 times a week instead of 5 times a week for 1 week, that the whole resolution's out the window, you know, like don't treat it that way. If your goal should just be to get better. So if you're not going to the gym at all, be like, I want to go to the gym at least once a week. And then if you go more than that, that's great. But if you only make it once a week, you're still doing better than you were doing last time. So
specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So you have to factor in all those things. And I think for me, and what Brad is saying is like that realistic piece is so important in setting goals. Like actually be realistic with yourself. Can you go 5 times a week? Probably not every single week. Are you going to feel bad when you don't reach that goal? Yeah, that's honestly what happens to me. I don't like setting goals because I'm like, if I don't reach it, I'm gonna feel guilty and sad and it's just gonna be, downhill. It's the truth. I just don't. So anyway.
Another thing too is if you set a goal for us for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, if you break that goal within like the first 3 to 6 months, then you need to set another goal. So just remember that your goals can change. Like if we all of a sudden something happens and we get to 100,000 subscribers by April, it's like, okay, now our goal is 150. We're gonna keep pushing towards, doing better. So I think that's another thing to add in with your resolutions. But for me, my fitness resolutions are, I want to do some kind of activity 6 days a week, whether that's lifting weights, running, CrossFit, or stretching, mobility work, because I think I'm gonna probably spend like 1 day every week just going and doing mobility and stretches and things like that. So that's what I want to do at least 6 times a week. I want to cold plunge every day that I'm home. What I mean by that is like, obviously when we went to New York City, I'm not gonna like search out a cold plunge in New York City, or if we go on a cruise, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need to find a cold plunge, like get all the ice and
yeah, no,
I don't even know.
Ice in a tub, I don't know.
There's no tubs really on the cruise ships, so
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, I'm not gonna make it into this big ordeal. I want to go on Nick Bear's podcast, which he's already told me I can come on his podcast, but I want to go run with him like the day before the podcast or whatever. So I want to be able to run 10 miles at probably like an 8-minute mile pace, which is much slower than him, but I'm sure he would slow down for me.
I don't know.
And then I also just want to end 2024 in the best shape that I've ever been in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I think that it's like a well-rounded shape. Like I'm probably going to be more flexible if I actually do my mobility. I'm going to have better cardiovascular endurance. And then as long as I upkeep my weightlifting, I should be.
I think you can do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But again, like that's probably not that's probably not a great goal though, because in general, like that's not a measurable thing. Like how do you measure the best shape of your life?
Yeah.
So that's not a great goal. But honestly, if I hit the other goals, then I would assume that you've made that. So
I might go in the opposite direction.
Aubrie hopes to get pregnant this year, and so
I've already made a phone call to like our previous fertility clinic, just because we're gonna go back. It's been 3 years now, and just kind of like retest and figure everything out. We're considering like IUI, so if you have done IUI, like just let us know your experience. So yeah, I hope that happens. But that means like I don't really have fitness goals. Like if I didn't have the goal of getting pregnant, I would be on the same page as you. Like I've been kind of just stagnant. I think I've done well, especially with CrossFit. So probably just continue CrossFit if I do get pregnant. Either way, continue bodybuilding. And just, I think my focus is really my coaching this year.
You said too that if you got pregnant, your goal is to go through pregnancy in better shape than what you did.
Oh yeah, I don't think I was in bad shape before, but like my body did crazy things, and I don't want to gain like 65 to 70 pounds again. I just don't. Like I didn't mean to do that. So hopefully it's not something that my body just like naturally does, but we'll see. It just, yeah.
Do you have any travel goals?
Yeah, I would like to go on a cruise once and take Letty again now that she's a little bit older.
We're going to Disney in like 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Back to Montana for the summer. Oh,
and I guess like one of my goals would be that we have architectural, permitting, everything done to begin our house in 2025.
Yeah, we got some good goals this year.
Yeah, aggressive goals, for sure. You got a lot of work to do.
Me? You?
I mean, the building expansion has been approved for Fat Weird, so one of the goals is to start on the expansion. Fat Weird.
It's just like
The Fat Weird building. So I know.
Cute,
it's just like
evil,
I feel like
scary
I've like
music.
not had a year where I'm not building. 2020, 2021 building, 2022 building.
Yeah.
Into 2023, and like it ended in February of 2023, and then now in 2024. So I mean, I've been building since 2020.
I feel like I want to do something crazy in 2024. I don't know what it is yet. Like maybe like, I don't know, like buy a house and redo it or something and resell it.
Yeah,
do something
you
crazy.
cannot take away from what I'm doing with Fat Weird, so that's a no for that.
Maybe I'll dye my hair or
Yeah,
chop it off
better,
or something.
not that one.
Maybe like a tad into the midlife crisis zone.
Shave my head.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's really
video.
Yeah, it's probably way too long of a video, but it's fun for us to look back on this stuff too, you know? So as much as it's for you guys to hopefully get motivation, insight, whatever it is, it's also great for us, truthfully. And I think that's another one of my resolutions to do this year is just like try to care less what other people think. Because I think that that's probably one of the things I struggle with the most of why I don't do certain things on social media or whatever, just worried that people are going to perceive it the wrong way, or, you know, when people don't know you, they don't understand, you know, the nuances of your humor maybe. But the truth is, I think everyone that like knows me, that I'm like friends with, they, you know, those are the only people that really matter. Is like what some stranger on the internet thinks about me is really not a big of a deal.
True that.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Hashtag careless.
Yeah. Care less.
Not careless.
Yeah. So make your resolutions. Do something to get better. You can do it.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Comment your resolutions down below. Subscribe if you haven't.
Because we're trying to get 100K.
Like this video. Yeah, we need you to get all your friends to subscribe. Like, do us a solid and be like, yo, I just had me and my 20 friends. 20. Y'all have 20 friends. Yeah.
So grandma, grandpa.
If
yeah.
everyone that's currently subscribed got one other person to subscribe, we'd be there. That's all I'm saying.
Just saying.
You're worth it.